Hello, RoahmMythril here once again, getting back to MagMammal 3, and as we last left off, we were a horse. In a casino. Pretty sure that's not standard operating procedure. And you thought I was going to go in there again. Ha! That would be too predictable. We're going to go change costumes, though. It's been a bit, so it only seems right to go back to good old classic Mega Man for a while. And so with that, I forgot how crowded our inventory had gotten. Alright. Okay, so we just finished Tier 5, the gift shop. So next up we have Tier 6, Cryo Lab. Bring a coat, or 5, either of the fur or lab variety. Always check left, and nothing. Mr. Zero. Wow, going into the Ruby Spear stuff, huh? Sigh. Welcome to the Cryo Laboratory. Yet another gauntlet, unfortunately. Why do I not sound very enthused? Well, our lab isn't exactly meant to be a tourist attraction. That idiot Ernest Will basically bought the lab out for use for the tournament, so we have to deal with that now. Just don't bother us researchers, okay? Then we'll be fine. I'll try to ignore you as best I can. What happens if I talk to you again? Okay, I was wondering if we'd get a different line for bothering him again, but apparently not. But yeah, Gods, it's been so long since I've actually seen the Ruby Spears cartoon. I forget what the plot was of the episode Mr. Zero was in. I just always remember the line, "You're mad, Dr. Wily." Mad? I'm happy. Oh, well, I have to talk to you first. Hi there, Crystal Man. Shiny as ever. I got excited when I saw this gigantic crystal ball, but it's not magic at all. This isn't a fortune-telling palace. It's a research lab filled with, scientists. I'm not anti-science, by the way. I just hate scientists. Weird personality trait for Dr. Wily to give to the guy who funds all his research. I mean, fair point. True. Okay, so, 117th place. Frenzy Reactor by the Man of Multimedia. So, 46 points even, 2 in difficulty. So, now the question. Am I going to get the traditional slap-in-the-face welcome back to MagMammal? 2 tokens, 1 exit, that's not so bad. Which one is that? I know that's from Mega Man 5 for Game Boy, that music. I'm not sure which theme it is. Anyway, always check left. Nothing. Pre-recorded message 25400. Hi, I'm Troy McClure, and welcome to Frenzy Reactor. You may remember me from Silvagunner Returns and Finding Jake Paul. People and robots said we were crazy when we made a power plant that uses geothermal and solar energy under a volcanic jewel mine. Well, look at us now. Also, Mega Man, if you are watching this, we are under a hostile corporate takeover by Dr. Wily. Seriously, though. He has one of his robots holding me hostage. Help! Okay, fair enough. There's something over here? There is not. Okay. Straight down it is. Okay, nothing that way. The lava falls in those fire tiles down there do look pretty nice together, I gotta say. You guys always have more range on you than I expect. thought that looked a little weird. And you were aligned differently. That one's not meme, that's 3-3. Would have been meme if I didn't have that power-up that changed M tanks to 3 tanks. Kinda looks interesting having the fire bar coming out of that. It makes it look like sort of a... like a different angle of viewing a solar flare or something. Not quite enough. There we go. So yeah, we do still have one token to be on the lookout for. And we have up and downs. Or do we just have one? I guess we just have one. I'm not complaining, it just makes me nervous when only one pops up and I feel like there's more I need to be careful of. The exit already. Okay, these are not background element ladders. Seen that trick before, so I was a little concerned there. Nothing up there. Is there more to the stage? That is a very big gate over on the other side. Can't go through it yet, though. This is the boss music from 1 for Game Boy, right? Gods, I haven't gone through the Game Boy games in quite some time. Okay, yeah, you just dropped energy and not the exit element. More to go. Well, there's 2 ways this seems like it could continue. Okay, there we go. So that's both tokens out of the way. Congrats on finding the 2nd secret room. Did you find the first one? Anyway, this level would not be possible if it wasn't for the amazing community in the official Mammal3 Discord. Thanks for your help and encouragement. Yay, shiny crystal floors! And jewels in the wall, and also the Gemini blocks, which I still don't know what to make of those. Like, I seriously wonder, of classic Mega Man stages, are there any stages that really come across as just straight up weird as Gemini Man? Like, I mean, sure, you can say Astro Man's stage is kind of surreal, but it's supposed to be. It's a holographic lab. I don't know that we ever really knew what the deal was with Gemini Man's place. I know the comics tried to say it was like some sort of algae research station or something. But it was just weird. Hi there, Centaur Man. With many bars. More bars in more places. And this, I think, is the boss music from 2 for Game Boy. Too close to the wall, I'm getting hit with that. I at least somewhat remember how you work, if only because fairly recently I was watching a friend of mine play through 6. Dealing with the spread shot is still a problem, and also, it hurts a lot. I think this is more what I want to do. It's all about learning the best way to lure your teleport. Huh? Why didn't you appear where I was? You've gone off script. And we're still not done. Okay. I at least know I'm done looking for tokens. So it does surprise me a little that we're still not actually done with the stage. I figured we would have been closer considering we'd found both of those. Okay, yeah, nothing over this way. Yay, plushie capsule. Oh! That's an interesting interaction. I don't think I was expecting that. The ground sparks, they come for me. Proto-Man. Okay. Okay, we skipped a few because I think this is the Mega Man 5 for Game Boy boss theme. Been a while since I fought Solar Man. Stop making me power up your hat! The conveyors do definitely make dodging a bit harder. Yep. Fair enough. Yay, Doritos! Overbearing sun and treadmills. It's either the worst or the most effective gym ever. And there we go. Alright, we got a capsule. What do we got? Multi-Man. I swear we only made a prototype of this doll, but now our warehouse is full of them. Please help. From Mega Man Dreamwave Comics, okay? Yeah, not as familiar with that. I think I've heard of it, but yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it. So as for the stage, pretty simple, rompy stage. I honestly really liked how the fire elements work together visually. Like I said, the background lava falls with those fire tiles down at the bottom, that looked really cool. The fire bar coming out of the fire pit, I thought that had a really nice look to it. The bosses also, like, especially Solar Man, the use of the treadmills there, that was interesting. That made that fight pretty cool. It definitely added a level of difficulty to it for getting around the solar flares. Also, the treadmills working with that one enemy to where the sparks would go along with it. That was an interesting effect. I would have liked to have seen some more with that. I wonder what all actually does interact with treadmills that way. It does seem like maybe the stage could have been condensed down to just 2 segments. Like I said, the spacing with the tokens felt a little bit weird. That you get one in the first section and the second section, but then there's a third section, but no real, like, hunting to do or anything. But still, overall, a really good stage. I liked it. The bitter cold is a cruel mistress. Stay still too long and she'll claim your soul. Some robots may think they're superior to nature's creation. We must struggle like any living being. Will you fight, Mega Man, or will you let your joints freeze over? Though I suppose as long as we stand indoors, we'll be fine. Well, there's a ladder, there's a curling iron, and there's a stage. But the stage is natural progression. So, I think we have time to do a second. 116th place, Escape from the Wily City by Green Man. 46.2, 2.6 in difficulty. 1 element, 3 tokens. Let's do this. I know that's a Wily Castle theme. I have so much trouble remembering which Wily Castle theme belongs to which Wily Castle. Like, there's one that I really like, and I tend to forget that it was in 5. Like, I always remember the song itself, just not where it came from. I want to say this was maybe... I want to say either 9 or 10. Okay, the tops do go over the ladder, so we're safe to get up here. There's an owl over there, and it's causing problems. Something, something, always the birds. I don't know what it is about those little walking eye enemies that just feels like such an iconic, simple design to me. Petarchi, I think they're called? Ooh, you are rudely placed. That always feels startling to me when I hit a checkpoint without moving to a new room. Been a while, I forget if this works. Nope, can't get past those. This, however, looks a bit more suspicious. Okay, so that is indeed the spade token. Huh. How am I gonna get this to work? Honestly, probably a simpler way to do so. No, I can't get you all the way out either. Huh. How is this going to work? I'm probably way overthinking this, but there, that works. Was it intended? Who knows? It worked. That's what matters. That is rude placement. Just running forward and suddenly there's an owl that really wants you in a pit. At least as Sniper Joes go, those ones aren't too terribly, durable. Okay. Wasn't expecting you. Give me money. I don't even really need money for the casino. Solitaire is free. I'm really upsetting this owl. I haven't seen anything else yet that seemed out of place for hiding the other tokens. That does worry me a little bit. Where's the owl? I know there's gonna be one. There wasn't. I know as soon as I let my guard down. This stage is filling me with owl paranoia. We just hit a checkpoint. Science. Every time we've seen this background shoot, it has been a way down. Had a feeling. Through that door is Gemini Man. The fight is optional, but getting past him will reward you greatly. Gemini Man now works for Dr. Cossack and his triplets. That's different. Huh. Okay. Well, wasn't expecting that. And here I was thinking, Gemini Man's not that bad. Beyond that, he hits like a truck. Oh. Okay. So you take one down, one does slow down and fight like Gemini Man normally does, the other still continues to orbit the room. Alright. This just got a lot trickier. Okay, I at least feel like I have a better hang of when to fire at him to minimize the return fire shots. Dodging is still a bit of a thing. I'm gonna give this a few more shots, just Buster only, then we'll start looking for weaknesses. Oh man, there's a lot going on here. Though, doing that, I almost had the energy bar completely drained, yet there were still two running around. Huh. So once I have them down to one, do they just all go away? Okay, I do have enough room to jump over them both, the two that are more closely clustered together. It is still a bit tight on timing, but it is doable. Okay, at least figuring that much out, I should be able to get through the first phase easier. For some reason, I just had it in my mind that there's no way I had that kind of jump clearance. Good to know I do. There we go. Okay. Lots of goodies. And the second token. That was actually a pretty interesting fight. Difficult, but once you have it figured out, it feels fair. Obviously, it can be done a lot more cleanly than how I handled it there. But with enough practice, I don't think that one's too bad. So, one last token that we need to find. Because, yeah, I think this is the theme of that one Wily stage that has, like, those, kind of elevator segments where you had to step on buttons on the elevator to move it left and right. Or was it the one where you had the anti-gravity sections that you had to fire to move yourself around and dodge spikes? It was one of the two. Further owl problems. Now it has the power of an owl behind it. They've teamed up. And this owl is invincible. I don't know that I approve of this owl technology. Okay, so this is a checkpoint. We're not quite done yet, okay. Okay, so we do have two obvious paths here. The owl really wants me to take what I would assume is normal stage progression. But we don't want that yet. Oh, I see. You are going to be a problem. Then you can have this. I have interrupted the Sniper Joe convention. There's a lot of bullets going on. And that is our last token for the stage. Immediate Owl! You left yourself in a bad position there, Sniper Joe. I at least want to give this an attempt at doing it as intended. Naturally, you can just use Rush Jet or Magnet Beam or whatever else there. Plushie Capsule. Delightful. More owl interference. Okay, you need to go. You're very in the way. Okay, this one does not like that I was able to take care of that last owl so easily. I trust nothing. Oh, okay, these are getting rude. Okay, there's not owl interference on this one, so I'll give it a shot. There we go. We'll not be having any of that owl nonsense around here. Just the thought of having to deal with Anchor with owls going on. And there we go. What do we got? Metal Man. This toy is infamous among collectors for how often it get damaged by its own attached blades, ruining the resale value. Yeah, I might want to leave this one in the box. Okay, so overall, pretty rompy sort of stage. Definitely more like Fortress vibes there, I would say. Like even. Like, was that the same tile set as the Wily stage that music came from? I don't think so with that background. The background was reminding me more of the bonus stage in 9. Though I'm not sure if it was. Again, it's been a while since I've played that one. But yeah, overall, this kind of had a nice feeling of like breaking into a Wily fortress, or I guess the title was more, yeah, that we're escaping it. But it did definitely have a cohesive feel with that it was this Wily compound that we were either infiltrating or getting out of. The Gemini Men fight, it's interesting how just adding one more clone to that fight, it does spice it up quite a bit. I thought that was very interesting, and like I said, once you know how it works, it does feel like a fair fight. Yes, you are outnumbered, but once you get the patterns down, it's not that bad. Anchor at the end, I guess, is supposed to be like the last little guardian trying to keep you from escaping the city. Overall, I don't know if I'm just having, like, if I'm misremembering. Anchor there felt a bit more fragile than usual. Maybe that's just me. But, overall, not too bad of an end fight. The invincible owls in certain rooms, though. Ooh, those were mean. The ones right at the end where you're having to do platforming over bottomless pits, or at least you're expected to, with owls that you cannot get rid of. Yeah, those looked scary and intimidating to the point where I was not going to chance it then. Also, I still wonder if I had the right idea in getting that first token. I feel like I somehow cheesed the system on that one, but it worked, and that's what matters. I'm really not entirely sure what else I was supposed to do there. But overall, decent stage. Very nice. And so with that, I think that is where we're going to call it for this one. Yeah, according to OBS, I have been recording for almost 42 minutes now. So yeah, welcome back to RoahmMythril 3. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, fare thee well. Hunter woman, stop looking at me like that.